Welcome everybody, it's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW.
These sons a big chew.
That's right, folks. Big news flash up. Oh my God! VSW.
Brass hats know what time it is. Get up off of your seats and bow down to the king.
One of the greatest in this game, and one of my favorite all-time people in this game. The Versace Stoner.
It's places like this. I started in a mill. I'm here still in a mill. I consider myself a mill wrestler.
Welcome to the Hill City Cups. Versace, how we doing, buddy?
How is it? So happy to have you.
You're breaking up.
Oh, I said, I'm so happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here. I'm glad we're doing this, man. You've been cool to me. You don't know how much you support me. Thanks for having me.
I got that world by the football. It's very welcome as well. You know, we're kind of doing a lot of the same kind of things, just in different territories. It's great. And we kind of came together with that Kill City Cup.
Yeah, small world, huh? But, I mean, great things bringing great people together is the way I look at it.
It did. It really did. You know, that just was such a fun project to, you know, even watch and, you know, talk to some of their wrestlers that were on that, and it just brought a lot of inspiration and creativity back into, you know, even my own podcast and what I want to do and what I want to do with everything. But, you know, this is about you.
I'm sorry, say it one more time. You cut out right at the end. I'm so sorry.
What got you into wrestling? I mean, not, for instance, you know, we all, like, grew up watching, but, like, what point did you say, like, I like this? This is something I like.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, because I've been a fan, you know, since I was a kid. But it had to be, you know, going to ECW really drawed me in. And, of course, me and my buddies started backyarding back in, like, 98. And it even got to a point where we ran some shows at some local bars and stuff. So we was kind of doing the no-ring thing long before it was cool. So that was my first little dip in the business. I had a couple matches back in 2009, but never went through proper training. So I'd be a security guy or a camera guy. And back then, man, it just wasn't the right people in place. There was a lot of hatefulness and everything. So I said, let's focus on the family. Let's focus on the job. And I stepped back for years and just watched it on the internet. And then about a year ago, the greatest opportunity in the world fell on my lap, and we're in the business making moves, baby.
You know, I love it. You know, I also myself, you know, at some point in wrestling, you know, I guess you want to say the timeline of pro wrestling, and I started, you know, with WrestleMania 1. I know it is before that, but I started watching wrestling around WrestleMania 2 or 3, around that era. And, you know, it was a lot different back then. The industry was different back then. Wrestlers were different back then. How you watched it, you know, and all that. But, you know, when I got into a certain age, wrestling for me just wasn't appealing. The John Cena era for me just kind of just didn't do it. Coming straight out of the Attitude Era.
Right.
I mean, if I hadn't coming out of the Attitude Era, I probably would have been cool with the PG era and all that, and the aggression era. But I wasn't because, well, I just turned, you know, like 18, and I didn't want to see, you know, I was used to seeing all the nudity and everything that we were getting for so many years.
Right.
And it kind of was talking, and me too, I love VCW, so I went kind of that route. VCW, XPW was another one back then. You know, even though it was a shit show, it was an entertaining shit show.
For sure. Oh, I love getting my XPW.
But like I too just kind of took a leap back, and I kind of focused. I mean, I did the family thing too, but I also focused on the indie scene.
Mm-hmm.
Getting away from the major leagues of wrestling, and getting on the local scene, and that's where I see all the fun and action happening today.
For sure, for sure. And I remember it was probably like 2016. I started watching. It was when NXT started blowing up. Then I'm like, well, I want to watch Evolve. Let me get back in the Ring of Honor, and then just all these great indie promotions. Then to find out, well, hell, it's going on right in my backyard. Just hell, I didn't know about it, and found some great talent here in West Virginia recently. Man, we're on fire down here in the hills of West Virginia. I promise you.
You definitely, I definitely got eyes on that whole scene right now. You brought my eyes to there, but there's so many great names that I just don't know about because I've just never heard of them. We don't get the access to know about them unless you do watch millions of hours of IWTV. But sometimes I do, and even then I can't cover it. I can't even get out of my territory. It seems sometimes, even with all of it, because there's so much now. There is a lot.
Oh, so much. But, I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. You can't keep up with everything, of course. But, I mean, there's something for everybody right now. It's free on YouTube. Pay your $7 for IWTV. Pay your $5 for Fight TV, Premiere. Or, like, you got great indie channels like my channel and your channel spreading the word as well, man. Everybody's got an option right now.
Exactly, then there is something different. But, you could have, like, that kind of, more cinematic, like, Bloodsport feel, like, the Kill City Couple. You do got that more traditional style, that you see on, IWTV or other promotional, other, like, street wrestling or other things. There's just so much out there now that just wasn't there. Before there might have been 3 or 4 types, and either you like pro wrestling or you didn't. Now I can get 4 out of 5 people in the room to kind of like at least one show.
Yeah, I've said it. I don't know how many times on my podcast. Right now, I don't care. I've been a wrestling fan since '91. Right now is the greatest era. There's never been so much wrestling accessible. There's great talent. There's great minds. We're getting rid of the shitheads. Good people in charge. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. Whether you're casual watching WWE, they're kicking ass. AEW, Impact, we could go New Japan. My God, everybody just knocking it out of the park right now. So many talents.
They really are. Even other like promotions like MLW, and I'm seeing names that I've watched. Just a couple weeks ago. Shows showing up on there. And that's the beauty of that indie scene is getting to see these guys get to the next level.
Yeah, oh man, and so many at such a high level right now. It's crazy. You guys are killing it in Maine. I've been a fan of the Maine scene since probably 2016 too, watching Limitless and Beyond, all kinds of feds up there. You guys have a lot to be proud of in Maine.
Yeah, it's wild.
You're all the same to a West Virginia hill jack like me. Rhode Island, you're all lumped in. Sorry, you're a territory.
We're New England.
New England. That's what they call y'all.
Yeah, we're New England. We're those people. But yeah, we do. I honestly have to say, I can't say that we are very, very blessed to have a very rich wrestling history. Between having legends, like Phil Austin having schools here, and having people like Triple H walk through here, and Johnson here, and all these guys and girls, Sasha Banks. We get a lot of great talent. We get a lot of people that strive really high in the mark. With that being said, though, and, I learned a couple of years ago, obviously there's a whole world of New England's out there. Every territory's got these high aspiration, great wrestlers. So it's just a matter of getting eyes and ears on them.
Yep. And you never know who's going to get that break, who's going to see that YouTube video or that Facebook reel at the right time. You never know when you're going to get called up to AEW, NXT. You never know who's going to pop up from where, man. It's exciting.
You don't know, and it could just be off a fan's page nowadays. You get the fans or any of us, or even our channels. You get a reel that gets into the high ends. It might get 1 million views, 2 million views, or something. WWE or other promotions might take notice of that. Well, who's this person? They're drawing online. Maybe they get drawn to us. Reach out. Yep. It does happen. It really does, and that's the age of social media. You can market yourself almost instantaneously.
God bless social media. I'm all for it. I wouldn't be shit without Twitter, Facebook, the YouTube. It definitely helped Spooky Lui out. I promise you that.
So let me ask you, when did you start the whole the whole Wrestleroni channel. So when did that come about?
That's a good story. I like this story. So our local promotion's Real Shoot Wrestling, RSW, that I work for now. I've been meaning to get to a show. They came right to my hometown. I didn't have an excuse. It was within walking distance. I go to the show, and I was amazed. My buddy, Billy Knox, was on the show. I wanted to check him out. But I was amazed by all the talent, and I really had a good time. Well, get home, and I got a few messages saying that I was there spying on their show to relay information to a guy that used to work for that promotion. I was sent there to spy to relay information. And I thought that was the most ludicrous thing because I was having such a good time. Anyway, that's how Wrestleroni started. I said, man, this is too much to type on Twitter. I wasn't even on Facebook at the time. It's too much to type. 15 minutes, let me put my word out there. The promoter that I was slandering reached out and was like, man, it ain't like that. Obviously, you're good at what you do. Let's talk. And after attending a few more shows, me and Tim Cross had a nice meeting at my house, and I became part of RSW. So let's start interviewing RSW stars. And Tim's got connections all over the place. So let's go to PWL. Let's go to VCW. Let's meet Beastman. Let's meet this guy. Let's connect with this guy. And it's been a chain reaction snowball effect ever since, man. It's been a wild, wild year.
You gotta love it, though. You gotta love it. Especially getting, it's one thing getting to see the people, wrestle. It's one thing you can be, really close behind the scenes. There's nothing to get to, talk to them, and interview them and bring them on. And especially, get to ask them, questions that they might have not have been asked out there. Or things that have just put them on your mind. Especially if you've been a fan of the person that you're bringing on. So, you've been a fan and you've watched them come up, and you might have questions from years ago. It's kind of fun to ask those and throw those out there and be like, hey, what about this time? They're like, it makes the kind of thing.
Yeah, and all the different stories, all the different backgrounds. Everybody's so different from the other, and everybody's been such an open book. I mean, they've given it all to me, man. The ups, the downs, the lowest, the lows. Some of those interviews, I mean, I always brag that I have a way of cheating because they have to have an hour conversation with me, and by the end of that hour conversation, most of us become pretty good friends. So it's been a hell of a blessing, man.
Yeah, definitely a great way to not only meet people, but it's also a great way to get people's stories out there, get names out there. Again, my whole thing is I started the VSW Podcast when I started seeing great promotions out there, great wrestlers out there, great talent out there, but they weren't getting any ears and eyes. Maybe their shows were doing okay, but how some of the local indie shows can get. You might get 40 people, you might get 140 people. So I said, let's try to get some eyes and ears on some of these, people that are entertaining me. And I just said, kind of snowballed effect into that too. I started with reels and doing kind of shorts and reels and getting it out and bringing, different people on. And then back in 21, I went on this thing called Cruise for Bruising, where we went through and we picked people all the way from Canada all the way down to Kentucky. And we just interviewed a bunch of random pro wrestlers that wanted to be in. We hosted a little contest. Whoever got the most views out of them would get $100 cash. And it was this guy, Rodfather, Roddy Bates, wanted out of Kansas. But it was a fun time. And I got really into it after that, of just bringing on guests and interviewing. It really kind of opened up the interview game. And obviously with the Kill City people, they've been great in helping me get interviews as well. And it kind of is like that. It does snowball into it when you do start to, get guests. Especially, when one takes off, you almost sometimes you look in your emails, you got 3 or 4 people that want to get on.
No,
it's great.
Yeah, oh, man, especially there at the beginning. Because, listen, the majority of what I watch is pro wrestling. I watch more pro wrestling than, of course, sports, TV, movies, whatever. Pro wrestling's my main source of entertainment. So it was like mingling with movie stars at first. Now they're all a bunch of dorks. But, yeah, it was pretty cool. I love them all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes, the starstruck. It depends who you get, though. I mean, there's some people that still, you got to be a little bit off. But eventually, yes, you start to become friendly enough, I think, with everybody. That's kind of like some of that starstruck is a little bit gone. But
Yeah.
But it's always fun. And, there's one thing I like to always do on my show is keep kayfabe alive. Keep it alive and well. It's one thing that you don't see a lot. Social media has cut that down, unfortunately. But for me, I love it. I love that part of the business. That little tiny kind of gag part of it all. It's fun.
I've been accused of trying to kill the business once or twice because I do have vlog segments. You'll see some behind-the-scenes stuff where these guys might have fought on the card, but their buddies in the back. Crazy to think. So I'm a bit of a destroyer of kayfabe at times. I apologize.
No, I mean that's the norm right now. That's the thing. That's the norm. I just like to do it because that's just how I grew up. Even if it's absolutely absurd and doesn't make any logical sense, I still would just keep the kayfabe alive just for the fun of it. But yeah, I mean, obviously we get into real stuff all the time, and sometimes you do get these real stories. And of course, if you have real enemies in the back, well, I mean, unfortunately, you wouldn't have a show. It would be just absolute chaos all night. Although I did run a show one time where we were going to have one guy segregated, literally, from the rest of the locker room because they all hated him.
Yeah, believe me, that's been going on in West Virginia, and when we segregate them, they just don't come back to a locker room. There's been a few guys that we've just said, "Nah, you're not welcome," and we have to put some photos online or do what we got to do to get your shit out there. We've been cleaning up here in West Virginia in the past year, and things are looking good.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's betterment for the whole industry. I mean, and I always say that, yes, promotions are somewhat going against each other, but at the end of the day, it's all for the same purpose, and that's all to make pro wrestling look good. To make it so that you and everybody else that's in the pro wrestling industry, whether it's indie or real, Major League Pro Wrestling, WWE, AEW, whatever you want to call it, that it doesn't look backyard.
Yeah.
That, the people that have been to school, the people that have worked their ass off, they keep it looking at professional level. And, every show kind of, I call it a big scale. And every show can kind of tilt it one way or the other. Mm. But as long as, the whole industry, 70% tilted the right way, it's a good industry. But, unfortunately, sometimes it can get dragged.
Oh, yeah. But whenever I started the podcast, my whole deal, and it still is to a degree, was I thought there needed to be more positive stories told in wrestling. I wanted to focus on the positive side. And why is everybody so bitchy? And why is everybody complaining about this? Well, after being in it for a year, I've had my spits and my spats and broken friendships. So I kind of look back at that guy and I say, "You naive jerk." Like, wow, shame on you. Shame on you, positive.
See, that brings me back to what I was saying. I too wanted to do that. I saw a lot of podcasts doing, gaining popularity, but it was still the wrong reason. I don't need to show 1,000 botches. I don't need to, have backroom drama or off the script shit. I don't really care that much about it. So that's why I do keep it kayfabe, because with the kayfabe, it has to be, positive, basically. You can't make it negative.
That's true, and I told the guest on my show, whatever you're comfortable with, I'm down for whatever. If you want to be kayfabe it up and tell some stories, I'll help you. I'll tell whatever story you want to tell, or if you want to talk about your real life. I've had guys try to stay in character for an hour, ended up having a panic attack, and have to finish the interview the next day. So there's a lot of different types of mentality in the world, and we deal with them.
Definitely. I mean, I have one that stays in character almost 24/7. Like, even outside of the interview, just total character. It's him. It's just part of him now, and it's fine. But it's just there's other people that are like, okay, I can't. You're right. It's just kind of uncomfortable when it gets to a certain level. And if you think about it, I mean, they only have to do it in a match for, maybe 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour, unless the main event. And so it does make sense when you get them, especially face to face for an hour, fucking that character, drilling them on questions and making them think not as themselves anymore, but as that character. It's like, okay.
Yep. I'm really impressed. We have a young guy at the school, and he's having his first matches, but he also wrestles heel under a mask. And he swears nobody will ever know it's him. He is going to keep kayfabe alive. So the youngsters are about their kayfabe here in West Virginia. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's great seeing the next generation kind of, take the talent and do its thing. And it's good to see that, people are letting them do that. Some places aren't. Some places still want to hold on to tradition and they won't let the new people in. They kind of shove them back and push them away. Kind of be like, you're not what we were back in the day and this and that. You kind of see that sometimes. But, I don't see that in any of I see a lot of young talented artists. I haven't watched the matches you post, some of the videos that I've explored elsewhere, and I've checked some of the wrestlers that you share about and go on their pages. I've done some stalking, I will be honest.
Hell yeah, good. And that's what we're looking to do with EIW is give all these local trainees and up-and-coming wrestlers, I want to make new stars. I want to give opportunities. We're not just going to use RSW trainees. We're using trainees from Power Slam Academy, folks trained by Jace Kincaid and the Chance Prophet, the greats up that way. We're looking at students from Ohio, from Pittsburgh. We're going to bring in a lot of students and kind of a developmental league with a hardcore edge, I'd say.
So now let's talk about that a little bit. How did that come about? This whole hardcore kind of fed.
Okay, so we had a Halloween special coming up. We had the movie coming up. I say, how can we promote the movie? Let's do a Halloween special. Cool.
Yeah.
Head trainer of RSW, Gannon Green.
You know what? Sorry. You know what? Let's back it up there for a second, and let's just talk about the movie for a quick second. Because I don't think a lot of my fans even knew about the movie. I tried to share it as much as I could, but you did film a small video. Was it? You were part of the filming crew, I believe.
I edited, filmed it, and it was all from the mind of Marcus Twist. He's the one that thought it up and everything, and we filmed a real quick little horror movie at the training center, put it out on Halloween night, little horror, I call it a shindy horror comedy, and folks seem to be enjoying it. Night of the Were-Zebra, you'll see a referee turn into a werewolf and kill some wrestlers. It's a good time.
Can't go wrong with that. Okay, so I just wanted to get that up because I said, it is a cool concept, and I'm so, I'm in love with things that's wrestling that doesn't actually, that breaks out of the genre a little bit, and that's, I think, was my appeal to City Cup, that it wasn't just a wrestling event, it was more of a beat. I love cinematic matches when they're done properly, things like that. Okay, so now we're going back. We got Halloween night. I remember the Halloween special. You asked for, you put a post out, if anybody wanted to, come on, and you got a great feedback, great response, I thought.
Yeah, you're telling me a lot of folks wanted in on it. A lot of folks sent promos. A lot of folks jumped on for interviews. At the same time, I had a lot of folks saying, oh, is this a wrestling show? And that's what I was saying. Now, Gannon Green did have the idea, well, we're training on this day. Bring down the cameras and let's film some matches. Well, from that, some of the RSW crew, well, hell, let's have this match. Well, finally, I can have a death match. We can't have a death match in front of an RSW crowd. Let's do it for the Halloween special. And, man, it caused some controversy here locally. We had some guys straight up quit RSW, leave Wrestleroni, take their cameras back. Long-time friendships broken over this death match. But the death match was very popular, and a promotion was born out of Polly Kilpis against Billy Knox in a death match. We said, let's do it again. We got Tim Cross's blessing. He's the head promoter, founder of RSW, so we're using his school, a lot of his students, a lot of his roster, a lot of his championships. Until we make our own belts. We're making our own belts, don't worry. So, that's how EIW was born from this Halloween special. The great reception from that. A lot of folks wanted to be involved. And believe me, a lot of folks want to be involved with EIW. It's just a matter of bringing them all in, man. It's crazy.
Oh, I know. I had people even from up here asking me, how can I get down there? I'm like, here, reach out.
Thank you for that. No doubt.
But there's a lot of talent that love to travel, love to get their name out there, and it's kind of good. It's kind of cool to get to go to another state, even if it's just for one show. It's nice to get out there. It's that, sometimes there is people in, indie wrestling has like multiple stages. I feel like there's some wrestlers that are really just comfortable, local. They do their local shows, and that's what they want to do. They don't want to go anywhere else. There's other people that, try to be the best they can in just a small area, and that's cool too. And then there's people that want to just go everywhere and learn everything and see the whole world of wrestling. And I have to really give it up to them because they come back with such knowledge, and such just wisdom, because they've learned so many styles and from different people, and it's really cool to see, because it is different. You know, you do get a different experience from different trainers and different styles in different states.
Yeah, we have a lot of that in our area too. We have guys that's been to DDT over in Japan, guys that's been to Mexico that bring back that training to teach the younger guys. So I think that's why our style is getting so cool right now in West Virginia.
And so now there's new promotion. Will it be just, obviously it's going to be different than ours. So will it primarily be extreme? Will it be all extreme, or are you going to have some regular wrestling involved with it as well?
I'm glad you asked that. I want to give a lot of these kids a chance to shine, so I do want some work rate matches. I loved ECW growing up. ECW had their Dean Malenkos against Two Cold Scorpios and their Eddie Guerreros, so I want those matches, right along with the gimmick matches. And if you don't have the gimmick matches, then occasionally you'll have the death match. We've got all kinds of crazy death match plans, and it's up to the guys, man. It really is. If you're comfortable doing a death match, 110% comfortable, or if you just want to do a hardcore match, maybe no glass involved. But like I say, I want to give these guys a chance to work what they want to work and what they're comfortable working.
You're really giving an opportunity to let people come out and showcase their talent and go as far as they want to go with it. That's awesome. Not many people want to do it. Many people will be like, you know, you're going to do this, and if you don't do this, well, then we're not going to use it.
No, it's a bunch of brainstorming. I want promos, skits, backstage stuff. Believe me, this first event, I've already produced it in my head. It's not just going to be in ring. It's going to be backstage. It's going to be skits. It's going to be television.
Oh, I know. I wish I could get out there. I asked my wife the other day if I could go, and she was like, hell no. And I'm like, come on. It's the first show. I won't go again. She's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, in 24, I'm going to West Virginia. You're not going to stop me.
I appreciate your efforts. Don't worry. First event will be on the Roni channel for free for you. So, and you know, it doesn't take me long to get these things turned around, edited, and uploaded. So
no, you're a great editor. You do a great job, you know, editing and getting everything out. On top of, you know, doing all you do and getting everything done, you know, you do put a lot of heart and effort into what you do, and I really, really appreciate that. I love that. I love seeing you do with dedication. You know, I'm a dedicated person myself. There's nights that I haven't slept because I just, you know, had to finish, you know, editing one more video. I just wanted to, you know, process some thoughts or whatever it might be. And you know, sometimes, you know, you do lose, you know, a little bit of yourself with it to work. You start thinking, you know.
But it pays dividends, man. It's paying dividends. Folks are watching. Folks are loving it. I mean, I'm recording a podcast with you. Then when I get done with this, I got to edit a match from the RSW show. Then I got to get on a phone call about a meeting with EIW to figure out a couple matches for the card. It's cool just living constant wrestling. It's dope. I don't care.
Nah, you know, like I said, it couldn't be a better time for it. It's, you know, probably one, like you said, the most exciting times in pro wrestling, because there is so much of it, and there's so many styles, and you are able to, you know, do something extreme here, and then do something, you know, not so extreme there, where, like, you know, before it was some black or white. If you're extreme, well, you're another ECW wannabe. If you're not, well, then you're a regular wrestling. You can't do hardcore matches, you know. Today, you can blend everything beautifully, and as long as, you know, you do it, if you do it right, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of art. And that's what it is, you know, shows are art. You know, the way you run, the way they blend together, it's a piece of art, and you know, depending on how you do it. That's what I always say, you know. There's a lot of ideas out there, and some of them, you know, are really good. Yeah. They just don't get executed properly. It's nobody's fault. And this is not even like on the indie scene, it's like on the mainstream. And I think that's why, like, a lot of the fans crap on the mainstream. And that's what got me out of, like, the WWE realm and AEW realm, because the negativity was just overbearing. Fans don't like anything.
No, a hateful bunch. I just have to block it out so I can enjoy it, because they're going to hate on everything.
Yeah, you know, that's why I kind of got out of that, like, circle. I just watch WWE with my son. You know, he loves it. He loves Logan Paul. But God forbid if I said that online, I'll get shit on. People hate the guy.
But isn't it a lot more fun if you're enjoying it and loving it? Like, you know, I have fun, at least. I don't know, man. I don't get it.
But then again, I came from an era when you could go to wrestling shows and you wouldn't know anything about the show unless you went to it or you bought the magazine that would tell you about it, and that was it. There was none of this, going to social media or any kind of media. There was magazines. Hey, if you had friends that videotaped at the time that lucky to have VHS recorded and were able to bring them to shows, but a lot of the times that wasn't even the case. I found actually old Polaroids from Survivor Series '93 the other day. I was like, wow. Thinking today that I would have had like over 1 million photos, and I had like 40 photos.
Yep. I wish I still had my photos. Mm-hmm. I used to sneak video cameras into WWE shows and record some of the matches. And cameras, they weren't small back then. I had a bulky camera. I had to sneak in, and I'd bootleg them matches.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was hard because the cameras weren't. They was like good size.
Yeah.
But now like I said, it's a great time to be wrestling. There's more eyes and ears on it than ever. And thanks to people like you, there's going to be even more ears and eyes on products. More people tuning in, more people checking it out, more people getting into pro wrestling.
Yeah, that's exciting to me because I see these things in these guys and girls I work with that I want others to see. And when they see it, oh man, it feels so good. I know so many great people, and if I can just showcase them, it means the world to me. A lot of great dudes I'm working with, and ladies, a lot of great people I'm working with right now.
Well, we can't wait to see all that. And tell me, really, folks, where can we find like all this stuff? How can they, if they have to?
We've got Wrestleroni's the main place. The Wrestleroni Plus YouTube channel. Type in Wrestleroni like macaroni plus, and you'll find it on YouTube. Hit me up on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter at Carpenbarker on Twitter. The Wrestleroni has a Facebook page as well. But mainly the channel. That's where you're going to find the matches and everything. The podcast giving you the storylines for EIW and RSW, interviews with their talent, interview with all kinds of talent. Because that's another thing I want to make clear about EIW. Yeah, we've got a lot of local guys, but this is an international thing when it comes down to it. And you'll see as time goes on, I've got some international connections. So this is worldwide. You'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell.
We're very excited, like I said, to see what EIW brings. And like I said, it's already saving up from the promos I've seen, from what I've seen from you, what I've seen from Billy B. Boasting. It looks very exciting. So like I said, it's gotten me to want to drive to West Virginia. And I don't even like to drive.
I'm so excited because I've known for years, when we did Backyard, I said if any of us could do it, Billy'd make it. And he's turning heads here in West Virginia. He's the most popular wrestler right now in West Virginia. He's over like Rover. And now he's going against Outlaw Willie Storm, a guy that I see something in that I don't think a lot of folks are seeing. Yeah, he's winning belts and he's winning matches, but people don't think he's tough. And let's put him in a death match with Billy Knox and show the world that Willie Storm is a tough dude. Watch what happens November 17th. I can't wait to show. I'm going to show my ass. I'm going to show folks Willie Storm's a badass dude too, and we're going to put on one hell of a show. RSW title, internet titles on the line, and we've got the internet, the cruiserweight title on the line as well. The junior heavyweight title. Aaron Duzan just won it this weekend and putting it on the line on the 17th against El Grego. He was on the Halloween special. He ruined it, so I've got it in for that guy. He ruined my birthday too. He showed up at my birthday show. And ruined that show too. So I'm in Duzan's ear on this one. I'm pissed.
Well, you know what they say about payback.
It's hell. Especially, hey man, I'm in charge this time. This dude's in for it. I promise you, he's a jerk. Listen, I asked the guy for a promo. He's part of the promotion. He's part of EIW.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drop the promo tonight. And wait until you see this promo. I am pissed off. Ridiculous. You talk about outside the box. Yeah, it's outside the box. I'll give him that. But it's just a young punk, just a young, absurd punk, and I can't wait for Duzan to mess him up.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see how all this unfolds. And you know what? Maybe we'll even reach out to some of these great girls and guys that are out there and maybe have them come on my show and talk and spread the word around here too and get more people to watch. Because like I said, this sounds really big what's going on there. And I can't stress it out, but this is a new promotion. It's really important. It's really important to kind of gain a fan base, but gain a good fan base. You don't want to just gain, casual people or people that are going to, come in there and just rap on. You want people that are going to be supportive, but you also want people that are going to enjoy the product that is kind of, catered to. And then from there, then you kind of branch out. And I feel like starting off the bat, you already have that fan base.
Yeah.
You already have that great fan base. So now you're already into the next stage, and you haven't even been on your first show.
Yeah, I'm super confident. We're right where Billy Knox grew up. He's in the main event. We're on RSW territory with Tim Cross's blessing. So we have the RSW fans, and they come out in full force. We have the Wrestleroni subscribers. We have your support. We have a big social media presence. A lot of folks loving what we're doing on social media. As far as the local folks, you hit us up. You pay for that ticket, and we're going to let you know where the location of the school is. But we're not going to put that out there for everybody. We're going to really have an underground fight club feel with this, but it's not going to be like 3 people. We've already got a good shoot. The show is just announced. A bunch of folks are showing up. So you'll have a bunch of folks in the crowd. So if you're here locally, get to it. And if you're online, hang in there, and I'll get it on the channel in no time, I assure you.
Well, that's fantastic, and we can't wait to watch it. Thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it, Lou. I really do.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for everything, for real. Since day one, you've been supportive. You're doing a great thing for your scene and for independent wrestling. So to have your support means a lot to me. It keeps me motivated. So I thank you. You keep doing what you're doing, Bubby.
Likewise. That's what it is. This is enough in this industry for everyone to get along.
There you go. Yep, definitely. EIW November 17th, Wrestleroni Plus on YouTube. Real Shoot Wrestling. We're associated with them. Check us all out, man. I tell you, I'm proud of what we're doing.
Yeah, you have it, folks. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. Have yourself a great one. Versace's going around.